It's the battle of a provincial president and a president-elect. Who's gonna win? Welcome to another episode of Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is Prospector Johnny. And this week, Prospector, it's more of the same old stuff. Although both presidents of the United States, well, three, I guess, all are doing stuff. Yeah, the president's high, presidential. I don't know what the plural of presidents is. It's the first time we've had to deal with this, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what? No war yet?
No war,
We're not.
no war yet.
We're gonna
Nope,
let
nope.
them. Are we
Yes.
acknowledging
Spoiler.
the Confederates?
No,
The
we're
what?
not
The
gonna- don't-
Confederate
don't-
States of America, whatever.
Don't be crazy, we're not doing that. The week's going to open up on February 15th when Lincoln is going to arrive to cheering crowds in Cleveland, Ohio. He will state in a speech, I think that there is no occasion for any excitement, which, yeah, probably. I mean, you know, there's some stuff going on. But then he follows up with, the crisis as it is called, is altogether an artificial crisis. If the great American people will only keep their temper on both sides of the line, the troubles will come to an end. So he's calling for peace, essentially, like, just, hey guys, just like, calm
I
your
mean
shit
that
for 2
that's
minutes.
nice and all, but it's not pretend. Like they made their own little country down there.
True. And it's not like both sides are being hostile right now. I'm pretty sure there's only one side that's taken
Yeah.
any territory from another, so
Yeah.
just saying. The Washington Peace Conference is still going on and is still not
Nothing.
effective. They're
Yeah.
coming up with some ideas that are very much along the lines of the Crittenden Compromise, so just, more of like let the slavery exist where it is, and then let the new territories vote on it, and pretty much everything that Lincoln said he's not going to agree with. So
Right. Yeah. So they're just doing nothing. Just walking in
pretty
circles.
much. And we have our first slew of Army and Navy officers that kind of start to resign from the United States Army. Most predominantly is Raphael Semmes, or Seams, Semmes. He's an experienced naval officer who's going to resign his position with the U.S. Navy and join the CS Navy. So,
That's worrisome.
way to go, traitor. We'll see you in hell.
Yeah, what that so how many of these generals did we lose? Just him?
Not that many as of yet, but there are some that are declaring allegiance to the U.S. There are some that are declaring allegiance to the Confederates. That's the most prominent one that we lost so far. On February 16th, the provincial president, Jefferson Davis, is going to arrive in Montgomery, Alabama to accept his position as president. And I want to take this time to remind you guys that he wasn't voted in. He didn't run for the position. He didn't even know he was running for the position until a telegraph came and said, hey, you're now the president of this made-up country. So they're getting off on a real good foot about being a democratic nation by putting in a provincial president who nobody voted for. But in his speech when he would arrive, he would say the time for compromise has now passed, and the South is determined to maintain her position and make all oppose her smell Southern power and feel Southern steel if coercion is persisted in. We ask nothing, we want nothing, we have no complications.
Except for all that federal property you took, you want that?
Yeah. I was about to say, you definitely want federal property, and you want all the federal troops and forts out of your country because you've taken it. You definitely ask for Fort Sumter to be surrendered, even though it's not on your property at all. But you're asking for it to be surrendered.
Yep.
So I'm not. I don't really agree with
just starting out with
your
lies.
statement.
He's just making stuff up.
We have two, a president-elect and the provincial president, who are saying very opposite things. You have one in the north who's saying, yeah, I don't, like, this is, like, we don't have to fight.
Yeah,
This is stupid.
well, he's
Just
brushing it off,
take a
saying it's
breath.
not a real issue.
Yeah. And then you've got the other president who's like, we're going to fight ya! So,
They've made it clear from the get-go, as soon as they started falling off and seceding, they were taking property from the start.
property. Yeah, so kind of sounds like the War of Southern Aggression is starting. In San Antonio, Texas, the U.S. arsenal and barracks is going to be seized by Texas state troops. So
More of
There's
that, yeah.
more of that Southern aggression.
Although Texas is not part of the Confederate States of America just yet, is it?
Not as not as of yet. No. Lincoln would make his way through Pittsburgh and into New York because he's doing a very direct route on his 70-city whistle-stop tour to D.C. You're going into Pittsburgh and then up to New York, which is completely the opposite direction of D.C., but whatever. Again, at a large crowd in Pittsburgh, he's going to say the same thing, like, hey, guys, like, we just need to stay calm, and it'll blow over.
He's got his talking points. He's doing the tour.
He's doing his tour. On February 18th, the provincial president, Jefferson Davis, is officially inaugurated as president of these Confederate States of America, which, again, at this point, no nation has acknowledged them, so it's
all make-believe.
It's a country on paper. In his speech, he would state that we are without machinery, without means, and threatened by a powerful opposition, but I do not despond and will not shrink from the task that is imposed upon me. So, right off the bat, you're acknowledging that you might, like, if there's a war, we might not be in a position to do very well on that.
Well, that's why they want all the federal property and stuff, because they can't make their own stuff. They have what, cotton mills basically, right?
That could be it. In San Antonio, Brevet Major General David E. Twiggs is going to surrender all military posts in the Department of Texas to the state of Texas. He says it was because he was under threat of force, but Washington, D.C. is going to view this move as a treasonous move. Like,
yeah, you just gave it to him.
No, you just gave it to him. Yeah, you didn't even bother trying to put up a fight. On February 19th, Davis would begin building his cabinet, which... so far, there's getting a little bit of opposition in the South as to who he's trying to appoint. And there's not a lot, like right now he's having a problem finding the experienced people that he needs in positions that are going to need to be there in the event of a war. So,
now, is that on account of everybody that would be good being up in the United States doing stuff, or...?
Well, it's a little bit of like, who do we pick? Because right now he's only got a handful of states... people to pick from, and there's a little bit of opposition in the South about, like, well, South Carolina, we're the first ones to secede, so we should have a say in something. And so there's this little infighting about, where this power is going to fall to, I guess. Lincoln is going to continue his whistle-stop tour. Like I said, he's going to wind up being criticized by reporters in New York for not speaking or writing on issues at hand, and he responds by saying, look, policy decisions, like, I can only make policy decisions when I'm actually the president. So right. I'm president-elect. I'm not in office yet.
You can't do much.
I can talk about everything that I want to do all day long, but it means absolutely nothing until I can actually make it official policy when I am the president. So that's a fair enough point, I guess. The U.S. Paymaster's office is going to get seized in New Orleans by the Louisiana troops, and a Colonel Carlos A. Waite of Texas is going to take over nominal command of all the seized U.S. posts inside of Texas. So I guess Texas is now an independent country for the second time? I don't know.
Again? So are we going to have to fight in a little three-way war here, or do you think they're going to end up...
they're going to end up, they're going to end up as part of the South at some point. Once they become, because officially they haven't actually seceded yet.
They haven't put in
the state convention. The state convention has seceded, but they are still allowing the people to have their own vote at the end of the month. So theoretically, Texas isn't this kind of halfway. They've seceded, but they're letting the people actually decide whether that's what they want or not. Which, I mean, they're gonna.
Yeah. I mean, but that's that's how you do it in a democracy. You don't just appoint somebody to the head of your country.
On February 20th, Lincoln would meet New York Mayor Fernando Wood, where he would say, and I quote, "There is nothing that can ever bring me willingly to consent to the destruction of the Union." So he's saying, I will not ever acknowledge a Confederate States. I'm never going to acknowledge that we are a split nation. I will do whatever it is in my power to prevent the Union from being officially dissolved. So sounds like Lincoln now actually has a little bit of muscle behind some of his words. It's about the most that we've gotten out of him so far.
Well, and hopefully when he actually gets some power, he'll do more than Buchanan has as far as letting them just destroy the United States of America and take all our stuff.
It's been like a week since we even heard from Buchanan.
What is he doing?
I think he's on a bender. I don't know. The week, Johnny, is going to finally end on February 21st when the Texas state troops seize U.S. property at Brazo, Santiago, and Camp Cooper. So, more federal territory being taken by Texas.
Can we start a war already? Like we got to do something, right? Like what the hell's going on here?
I'm going to go ahead and bet, Johnny, that absolutely nothing is going to happen until Lincoln gets into office, because I don't think Buchanan.
Don't look like it.
I'm trying to wait out war. Like I got 2 more weeks. Like let me just get through this.
Bum.
The Confederate States of America and President Davis's first act is going to declare that travel on the Mississippi River is free and open. So he's not blockading any travel, which is good.
All right. Yeah. That's like the least aggressive.
Reasonable.
That's the least aggressive thing they've done.
That is the least aggressive thing they've done. And it's going to finally end when Lincoln is going to receive intel from Alan Pinkerton that there is an assassination plot brewing and is planned for when he travels through Baltimore. So maybe avoid Baltimore.
Yeah.
But Lincoln so far is saying, I'm not changing my plans. All right, that's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and join us on Historic Hindsight, where we talk about all kinds of random historical things like Brother 12 and his weird Canadian cult.